college football. A Big Ten traditional. The Michigan Wolverines and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Hello again, everybody. There is no question this is one of the great rivalries in college football. But if you're John Cooper, it has been something of a struggle. John Cooper's Buckeyes have yet to beat a Michigan football team in 4 tries. And the Wolves are barking at his heels. However many there may be, they certainly are being heard. Now, John Cooper does have some security, even though the leadership of the university has not stepped up, stomped its foot and said, hey, this is our coach, let him alone. Have not done that. Cooper, the current president of the American Football Coaches Association, has 3 years remaining on his coaching contract after this season. And yesterday he told me this.
I don't have any intentions at all of walking away from this job. No, this is a good job. We got good young players in this program, got good coaching staff. We're real close to being, where we need to be. So right now my thoughts are on winning this Michigan game.
And maybe we should all remember it was just last Saturday at Michigan Stadium that we heard the home crowd boo the Wolverines in their tie with Illinois. Maybe it is so that no one is immune these days. Hard work, I'll tell you right now. But it is November, Bob Greasy, and you're not safe anywhere on any subject, are you?
No, you're not. This is a big game for both teams. The suspense is gone. Michigan has clinched the championship of the Big Ten. They are going to the Rose Bowl. And the Citrus Bowl will get Ohio State. But these two teams come in seemingly headed in opposite directions. Michigan is struggling. Defensively, they're banged up. Offensively, last week, 10 fumbles, 6 turnovers, and they have not played well in their last 3 games. Now, Ohio State comes in very confident. They are healthy, they are on a roll, and they have won their last 5 games. And if they win this game today, it would be a great way for the seniors to go out.
Series goes all the way back to 1900, and the Buckeyes haven't liked Michigan since they beat them 86-0 in 1902. Number 6 Michigan, number 17 Ohio. It was 10 years ago that the Rose Bowl team lost a game here. Weather's a bit mucky. It's been raining off and on since the middle of the night. It's very gray and will rain some more probably before the day is done. But it's very mild. So let us count our blessings. I'm sure many of you remember how many times it has been so frigid. Gary Moeller, whose Michigan Wolverines fumbled and bumbled themselves into a tie last weekend against Illinois. And Illinois has been something of a wart for both these teams because they beat Ohio State and tied Michigan. John Cooper, of course, has been a cause célèbre around here now for at least 2 years, and he's 0-4 against the Michigan Wolverines. Here's the kickoff with Robert Smith and Butler Benote deep. This is Smith carrying the ball. Very dangerous, very strong runner, long-legged. Been quite a story himself around Columbus. And he gives the Ohio State Buckeyes pretty good field position off that return at about the 27-yard line. The quarterback for the Buckeyes is Kirk Herbstreit, who has had 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions during the course of 92, but is playing better now than he did in the early part of the season. The diehard starting lineup for Ohio State features number 26, Smith at the tailback. Cochran, the fullback, is basically a blocker. Sanders is the real speed of the Ohio State offense at a wide receiver position. Little play action delay. Ball thrown to the fullback, Cochran, and Cochran makes a big play out of it, going to midfield for Ohio State before Ty Law can bring him down for the Wolverines.
Nice call, opening play for Ohio State. They are 80% run production-wise. They come out with a little play-action fake the run. Cochran slips out the fullback, and a nice play, first play of the ball game.
The Ohio State fullbacks have historically been a load, and this one is too at 6'2", 235 from Middletown. So it's first down for the Buckeyes near midfield. Little pop pass over the middle goes to the tight end, Cedric Saunders. Cedric Saunders is a name seldom heard in the Ohio State offense, and he gives the Buckeyes a first down at the Michigan 40. The offensive front for Ohio State, and they need a good ball game out of the big fellas today. Jason Winrow being the biggest at 300 pounds. Sanders checks into the ball game now. Beatty checks in for Ohio State on the 40 of Michigan. They'll run the running play with Smith finding daylight, coming around the corner, and goes down to the 26-yard line before Shante Peoples can shove him out of bounds. The Michigan defense comes on the field, and they're going to have a busy day today. Chris Hutchinson, who has occasionally been an outside linebacker, is back at tackle for the moment with Henderson and Stanley. Tyson Walker, Morrison, and Stoik. William Stoik is a new member of that linebacking corps. He plays the run pretty well, and that's why he's in there. Corwin Brown is the leader of the defensive secondary for Michigan. It is another first down for Ohio State at the Michigan 26. Herb Street wanted to throw. It's been raining, as I told you. He wanted to plant the right foot and make his turn, and the foot slipped out from under him. This is prescription turf, and normally it'll hold up pretty well.
And it is in good shape. The grass is a little long, and as a quarterback or any position on the field, you have to adjust your play to the conditions. You just can't come out here and no-brain it. You have to be aware that the grass is a little bit long and it may be a little bit slick.
So the loss is back to the 34-yard line. That's a big loss of 8 yards, and it is second down. Same play. Passes to the sidelines, and the pass is caught again by Cedric Saunders. So the tight end makes 2 catches. He's a junior out of Sarasota, Florida, at 6'3" and 238. So the Buckeyes come out throwing the ball.
And I think that is smart, Keith, because Michigan came in expecting Ohio State to run the ball. That's what they do best. Herb Street is much better as an option quarterback, rolling one way or the other, than he is trying to drop back in the pocket.
With the ball now at the 24 of Michigan, it is third down and 8 for Ohio State. 2 tight ends now as D.J. Jones checks in and Chris Sanders comes out. So they've only got 1 wide man now with a double tight end alignment. Run the play with Smith. Smith running behind the blocking on the right side, and that's where Cedric Saunders works, is finally wrestled down by Marcus Walker and Dwayne Ware. He did get the ball down to about the 20-yard line, and it'll be 4th down for Ohio State. That should bring the kicking team on the field on 4th down and 4. Tim Williams out of Waynesville, a junior, has been relatively inconsistent. He'll miss a short one and then make a long one. Joel Kessel, the punter, will hold it. Borchers will snap it. Remember, it's wet. 38-yard try for Tim Williams. Ohio State trying to get on the board first. Taken out of the air by number 8 for the Michigan Wolverines, Dwayne Ware, the cornerback. The ball was blocked by Sean Agnes Charles, and he is from Quebec. So a French-Canadian gets the block. Just got a hand on it, and the Buckeyes are turned away.
Let's go back and take a look at the block field goal. This is the man that blocks it. That's Charles. But watch the block of the outside man. That is George. As he steps down the block inside, he doesn't even get a piece of Charles. He comes around free, and he has the speed to block it.
And the Michigan Wolverines will go to work. The ball is resting just outside the 22-yard line, or just inside the 22. The snap to Elvis Gerbach, the quarterback, and they come out throwing the ball as he hits his tight end, Tony McGee, on the numbers for a big gain and a first down. Elvis Gerbach, the senior, Willoughby Hills, Ohio. His career versus Ohio State reflected there, averaging just over 113 yards per game. The diehard starting lineup for Michigan. Tyrone Wheatley is at tailback, the man who had so much trouble hanging on the ball last week. Let's see what happens under the circumstances today at Ohio State. Wheatley is in there as the single back and has the ball. And he puts it away. I think you can see that very clearly. And then high steps his way for about 6 yards, running right through the tackle of Dan Wilkinson, the defensive tackle of Ohio State. The offensive front for the Michigan Wolverines is a good one and plenty big enough. Thank you. Anchored by the center, Steve Everett. Joe Kokozo had a particularly good ball game last week in the Illinois game. It's 2nd down and 4. The ball at the 48-yard line of Michigan. No score in the ball game. First possession for the Wolverines. Wheatley carrying the ball will pick up a couple of yards to midfield, and that'll do it. Number 58 is Steve Tovar, the senior, playing his last home game. Just truly been a great football player during his 4 years here.
Well, he is the middle linebacker. He sheds the block of the offensive lineman. Now he's getting some major league moves put on him. You couldn't see the moves, but you could see him kind of hold his ground by Wheatley. Held his ground and waited for Wheatley to get to him.
3rd down and 2, double tight end. Burkholder joins McGee. Michigan keeps 2 men outside, though. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, number 57, Greg Smith, the middle guard. Loss on the play, back to the 45-yard line.
Greg Smith used to be a wrestler. He was a walk-on. Right here, he's just going to shoot the gap and almost get there before Gerbach does. That's an arm over on a pretty good center, Steve Everett, and a big play.
Greg Smith, who was just announced as the winner of a 2-year postgraduate scholarship from the National Foundation. The punt is away by Stapleton for Walter Taylor. And it'll go on into the end zone and come back to the 20 at the 55-yard punt with the wind at his back. The wind, as you can see, is brisk, and it, like the rain, will come and go as the afternoon goes on. But again, it is very mild. It is around 60 degrees. Playing on prescription turf. We saw Herb Street slip a few minutes ago, but basically, it's pretty good. Let's see where they put Chris Hutchinson. He's
top of the screen.
Top of the screen and outside.
Yeah.
Standing up. Number 97 now drops off. Herb Street gives the ball to Robert Smith, who weighs 195 pounds, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. Look at something from the ACC. It seems like somebody's running 80 yards.
Yeah.
And a bunch of big plays last week at NC State game. 2nd down and 8. Man in motion is Saunders, the tight end. Give it to Smith going that way. Got a block on the corner with Saunders. Smith around it. Out of bounds. 1st down, Ohio State. Up at the 39-yard line. Corwin Brown shoved him out for Michigan. So they took the tight end, put him in motion, got him over on that corner where they could outnumber the defenders, and got away with it.
Here's Hutchinson right here. Normally a defensive end. He's playing a linebacker. Watch as he gets hooked, and this play gets outside of him. Because of injuries to outside linebackers, Hutchinson, normally a down lineman, he gets hooked. A nice move right there by Smith, and he gets around the freshman Law.
And it's 1st down at the 34-yard line for Ohio State. Herb Street fakes to Smith, buys time, throws behind the intended receiver, Greg Beatty. He had Beatty available, but he missed him, and here is Jack Arute.
Well, Keith, let's tell you a couple of things. First of all, we're playing on prescription athletic turf, so the footing should be very good despite the rain. But let's update you on the fumble problem for Michigan last week. We checked all week with the crew, with the equipment managers. They've determined that it was not the ball. So what they did all week is they did specific fumble drills. They also used their regular tackified gloves, but they added these gloves as well. The end result, they're not sure what the problem was. Some people think it might have been hard hitting by Illinois.
I'll vote for that.
Well, they were tackling the ball all day,
Yep.
no question about it.
Yep.
There's another element called concentration, too. Good defensive close there by the Michigan Wolverines, led by Dwayne Ware, and there will be a loss of a yard on that play with Robert Smith being strung out across the field.
You know, Keith, Jack said that the footing is good, and it is. The only problem is that the grass is long. The field is solid, but the grass is long, and it is a little wet and damp, and anytime you get that combination, you're going to see some guys slipping.
Well, they probably will want to go maybe at halftime to a longer cleat if they brought some.
That could help solve the problem.
Ball is at the 33 now, and it's 3rd down 11 for the Buckeyes. No score in the first quarter of play. Second possession for Ohio State. They're in the shotgun. Herbstreit throws underneath the dropping coverage to Brian Stabline, who is a graduating senior this year. And Stabline is stopped well short of the first down, up around the 42-yard line. On 4th down and 2, then, in comes Joel Kessel, a senior from Massillon, and Derek Alexander will go deep for Michigan. Kessel holds on the extra points as well as punts. Again, has been an inconsistent performer this season. He's kicking into the wind. Very high. Not going to go very far. Alexander with a fair catch call, and the back judge back there waiting to throw the beanbag. Feet went out from under him, and he hit the ground hard.
He needs some longer cleats.
29-yard punt. Just short of the 30-yard line now for the Wolverines, with Bernie Leggett lined up as the single back. Gerback lets it go down the sidelines for Alexander. He slips and falls. It is intercepted by Ohio State's Chico Nelson. At the 36-yard line of Ohio State, Eric Alexander, going downfield, started to turn into the ball, and his feet went out from under him.
Ohio State is first in the Pac-10 in pass defense. They're awfully good at it. He gets a little bump there. Now the ball is thrown. He starts coming back to it, and the long grass gets him. Chico Nelson gets the 18th interception of the year for the Buckeyes.
And so very quickly, the Michigan defense is back on the field, and here come the Buckeyes. Gary Moeller was haunted by the turnover last Saturday. This is Robert Smith. And I don't think he got a thing out of it. Steve Morrison, who had a ton of tackles last week, like 23 of them, makes one here today.
This field condition, Keith, is going to favor the home team. It's going to favor Ohio State because they know the turf. They play here a lot. And also, they don't have as much speed and quickness on offense as does Michigan. Michigan has Wheatley and Alexander, two big play game breakers. It should affect them more.
Herbstreit looks down the middle. He had a man for a minute, Stabline, but he couldn't get it to him. And finally, he turns upfield running the ball to about the 44-yard line. He'll be 2 yards short of his first down.
Well, Herbstreit can run. He was an outstanding option quarterback in high school. Doesn't run as much anymore. He had an ankle injury earlier in the season and has really curtailed his running, but it's almost healed now. But really, it was a good thing for him because it taught him he had to stay in the pocket, and he really has thrown the ball well. In fact, he's only had 1 interception in the last 6 games.
All right, they go double wide, top of the picture now. 3rd and 2. He looked for Robert Smith to go that way, and here he goes, and he's got the first down. They'll mark him at the 48-yard line. First down, Ohio State. 12:32 is the time, and it's been dry now for about an hour and a half. The Goodyear Blimp Spirit from Akron, Ohio, is overhead. For those aerial views, you can see him through the mist. That angle is...
He looks awful low, doesn't he? Awful close.
Certainly does. Had a ride in that fellow. 2 years ago up at Ann Arbor. Maybe 3. Time goes swiftly. Herbstreit's got a major problem. It's called Hutchison and Dyson and Crunch. Crunch being the byproduct.
Yeah, well, that was just Little problem up front. Here's a look at the Buckeyes offensively in the Big Ten. They're doing very well in scoring points and rush offense and third down conversions, but very poor throwing the football. They average 158 yards passing and 200 yards rushing per game.
Greg Beatty comes in. He'll go to the top of your picture. Second down and 16 now. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Herbstreit's pass is underneath, caught by Stabline at the midfield. That gets him back just about the original line of scrimmage. Jack, what about those cleats?
Well, Keith, I've got some bad news for you. First of all, the Michigan players have all brought one set of cleats. The reason being that the maximum allowable length of a cleat is a half-inch deep. That's what they're wearing. In checking with their equipment manager, John Falk, he says, believe it or not, the field has deteriorated a certain degree since warm-ups to practice to the game time right now. They're very concerned.
Let's see why. On 3rd and 8. Let it go. Sanders. Penalty flag. He was against Maloney. Let's see whose call is going to go here. It could go either way.
This is a good call. This is a good call. Defensive interference. It's a nice call. A lot of short passes up to this point. Michigan, Ohio State had done nothing deep on Michigan. Bottom left. There's a push right there. Now, if the offensive receiver is in front of you, that is fine. You can shove him or jam him. But if he's going around you and you knock him off stride and the ball is in the air, that is interference.
I want to tell you something. Sanders got a pretty good lick in himself.
Yeah, but
that exchange.
The call was correct. But unlike pro football, where the ball would be down inside the 15-yard line, it's just a penalty marked off from the line of scrimmage. 15 yards. So they both pushed off. Gary's saying.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. It was the defender who pushed first.
But the offensive guy fell down.
That's true. Better active.
Yep.
35-yard line. First down at 35-yard line for Ohio State. Chain people a little disorganized. They've got third down up. Now they're ready.
Well, they had knot in their chain, too, over there.
They did, didn't
that shook them up.
Give it to Smith. Well, I'll tell you what. Number 22, Ty Law, the freshman from Aliquippa, played that very well. He didn't buy any of the head fakes and just kept on running with it. I think you offensive guys have been ganging up.
Ganging up on who?
On us defensive guys.
Well, I must admit, I do approach this from a quarterback's angle and see it from that.
Herbstreit's pass, good. Stabline. Very good possession receiver. Not flashy, not swift, but gets in the right place at the right time.
From behind the defense, this is what Ohio State does. This is their MO. A little rollout. Don't make him sit in the pocket all the time. Short, controlled passing game. We mentioned Michigan came in struggling. They have continued to struggle. They've had some critical penalties, and of course the interception when Alexander fell down.
Herbstreit is now 6 out of 7 for 74 yards. 4:20 to go in the first quarter, no score. Herbstreit throws it again. Well off the mark. He was leading Stabline. Stabline was in between Wolverines, and so it's an incompletion. At the conclusion of today's game, the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player chosen from each team, 22nd year, through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school.
Herbstreit has been on a roll. He came into this ball game on a roll, completing 61% of his passes. And he has never played better in his career than he is playing right now. And I think it's smart what they're doing, letting him throw a little bit early.
Second down and 10 from the Michigan 21. The sideline, ball dropped. Alan de Graffenried had it and didn't pull it in. Had it on his hands, and he looked back to see where he was, and by then it was gone.
I think this is a good philosophy offensively for Ohio State. Joe Hollis, the offensive coordinator, knows that Michigan defensively is first in the Big Ten in rushing defense and fourth in the nation. There's a look at Joe Hollis, offensive coordinator. If they're expecting you to run, loosen them up a little bit with the passing game.
3rd and 10 from the Michigan 21. Little shovel pass into the middle. Doesn't work. So the Utah comes up empty, and that'll bring up 4th down and should get the kicking team on the field. Last time Charles blocked it because there was nobody to impede his progress to the ball. This is a 39-yard try. No score, so this is a chance still for Ohio State to get on the board first. This time he gets it up, and he gets it through. And Ohio State takes the lead at 3:58 to go in the first quarter by 3. That one was the 1986 Arizona State Sun Devil team that went to the 1987 Rose Bowl and won it 22-15.
And following that season, Cooper was named the National Coach of the Year.
Kind of get the feeling in a way that they're ganging up on him. It's hard not to get that feeling when you come here right now.
Boy, that is for sure.
Tim Williams will kick it off. Tyrone Wheatley and Mercury Hayes back there wearing the white shirts for Michigan. Going at Wheatley, 11-yard line. Comes out to the 33. Michigan with the ball. Ohio State leading 3-0. Getting into the closing minutes of the first period of play now. And Tyrone Wheatley is the single back. Ohio State almost did get caught in the neutral zone. Free play here. Wheatley with about a 10-yard run over the right side out near the 43-yard line. Tom Quinn will define the call for you here. The umpire is Lorenzo Clemens, and the rest of them you see there. I think it was Jimmy Sherlock that slipped down a while ago. Steve Beckman, the linesman. Line judge Michael Spanier. The field judge is Michael Sheehan. Side judge David Whitbett.
Pretty close to a first down. And taking a look at it.
On the defense, decline, 2nd down.
And short. So they're in position now to have a go at something big. They put Ricky Powers into the single back position now, coming off the bench. He's been hurt, hasn't played much the last half of the season. He may have the kind of natural running talent, though, that I'm going to say it would serve him well.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Kind of a skater, keeps his feet close together, but he plants that foot in the cut, and bingo, down
more
he
of a
goes.
power runner, yeah.
Greg Smith, we mentioned, as the middle guard. He made that big play early on. just received a 2-year postgraduate scholarship. Steve Tobar, of course, is an All-American, and deservedly so. Williams and Powell are very quick. Roger Harper is the ringleader of the defensive corps back there. Harper being the bigger of the bunch, but they're all hitters. It is a first down, however, on Ricky Powers' carry. Put it at the 44-yard line. Go to a 2-back set. Gerback will give it to Powers. Running in the middle, turns it outside, searching for some daylight, and he's probably got about 4 yards worth.
Michigan has 3 outstanding running backs. Powers was the man last year. In fact, gained 1,200 yards rushing last year. Has been demoted, or because of injury has slipped to number 3 this year. Wheatley has been the man, and Jesse Johnson, who was the man last week, hasn't seen the field here yet today.
2nd down and 6. Powers staying busy, breaks it. Going to the sidelines where he felt he had some room, slips and falls down just inside the 40-yard lines.
Tyrone Wheatley lost to contact, so he'll be out for just a few plays.
Powers looks pretty good. First down. Play slow to develop. Jason Simmons on the play, and a penalty flag across the way. So Michigan's offense now starting to move a little bit. Ohio State gets caught in the neutral zone again, offside. Ohio State leading 3-0. We're inside 2 minutes to go in the first quarter at 1:57.
Defense, 5-yard penalty.
Michigan, you said the offense is getting to roll a little bit. Well, their history is pretty substantial. Here's what they've done in the Big Ten. They lead in 4 separate categories, averaging 270 yards on the ground per game.
Alexander's way down here by himself. Single coverage with Walton. But they run the ball inside with Powers, and Greg Smith gets a handle on him. Ron Kramer, the great old end, old pal from Michigan. Ron showed up this week with a couple of footballs with handles sewed on them.
Because they dropped it 10 times last week, huh? That's great for running, but it's hard to throw them with a handle.
Second down and 3 after the run by Powers. Ricky's still got it. He runs right into number 84, Craig Powell, the redshirt freshman from Youngstown, and moves it to the 30-yard line. That's a yard short of the first down. Ricky Powers is 210 pounds. Wheatley is 225, and Jesse Johnson 209. So these running backs for Michigan are pretty thick. They hit you a lick.
It's the offensive line, though, that does the work up front, Keith, as you know. 5 fifth-year seniors, 4 fifth-year seniors in the offensive line.
Leggett, the single back, on 3rd and short. He's a 237-pounder, and he's got the first down. In fact, there was enough of a hole there that he didn't expect it. He got no contact, and he just sort of ran out of lean and fell down. It is a first down.
Well, let's take a look at some of those fifth-year seniors. Skeen is 72, Everett is 51. They double team on the nose man, and that's enough yardage opening to get through there for Leggett.
Well, they pounded old Greg right into the ground.
Yeah, but he didn't give yardage. I mean, he just sank down and held his spot.
First quarter is over after 3-0 Ohio State. Ohio Stadium, dedicated October 21, 1922, 62,110 permanent seats. Cost $1,341,000. 1,083,000 of that was pledged by 13,000 private citizens and supporters of the university. Downtown being renovated here in Columbus, incidentally, it figures to be 50 years before that's finished.
Ohio State has had the best of it. The right column, total yards 103. The one turnover for Michigan was the interception when Alexander fell down.
It's first down on the 24-yard line of Ohio State. Give that ball to Wheatley, bounces outside, great speed, big man, 225 pounds, and he's inside the 10. First down around the 8-yard line. First and goal for Michigan.
Just some nice trap blocking up inside, and Leggett got a nice block. Wheatley is big and strong. Here's Michigan, what they've done inside the 20. 57 times they've been in there, and they've scored 43 times. 37 of which have been touchdowns. Defensively, Ohio State, not too bad.
First and goal from the 8. Here comes Wheatley again. He put that ball away, didn't he? When he got into traffic, he took that thing and just snugged it right under his rib cage. Tim Walton brought him down. That's a rather difficult challenge for young Walton. He's 170 pounds with a rock in his pocket. Taking on Wheatley at 225. Second down and goal from the 2. Wolverines' first threat of the day.
You see Michigan standing around there. This is the long way. They go no huddle, and they substitute a lot of players. Gary Moeller calls the plays. Well, it's too far to run back and forth to the huddle for the no huddle.
Well, they've been steady. Now they're sitting down there, second down and goal from the 2-yard line with Wheatley, the deep man, and he's got it. And he's taken down at the 3. Number 72, Dan Wilkinson, a 299-pound redshirt freshman from Dayton, led that defensive surge.
It's amazing that that Wilkinson can move as well as he can. Last year, he was an offensive lineman. Didn't play last year, sat out. He's a redshirt freshman this year, changed to defense and lost 50 pounds. And they say he weighs a little over 300 right now, but he can move.
Told us he weighed 299. Leggett checks in. He's the single back. Gerback looks, takes off, dives, goal line, touchdown, Michigan. He's hurt.
Quarterback draw, a designed play. This is one of the chances you take. Watch the tight end. He's going to go down and block the linebacker right there. Everybody's blocking. Everybody continues to block. It's run blocking downfield. It's like he hurt his left shoulder or the back on his left side.
He ran into Wilkinson, I think it was. I couldn't tell who it was, but whoever it was gave him a pretty good lick. And it was on the shoulder and the side of the head. But now we're told it is the knee that really is the problem, not the shoulder. Todd Collins is warming up now, the sophomore from Walpole, Mass. Collins, when he played and Gerback was hurt earlier in the year, was very good, as you can see from the numbers there. He's a big guy, 6'5", 240. Time is out for the moment for Elvis Gerback.
A lot of people, Keith, may question the call. Why run a quarterback draw with your quarterback? Your fifth-year senior, Gerback, has had an outstanding year. He is the number 2 passer in the nation, efficiency-wise. I don't believe in all that. I think you run the plays that you have to run, and you just get downfield and you get down. Football is a game of bumps and bruises, and occasionally you're going to get knocked around.
Well, they're not looking at a knee, Bob. They're talking to him more than they're...
No, it's not his left knee.
It's not his knee.
It's got to be his shoulder or left the back of his where he got hit by the linebacker. But I don't believe you throw out certain plays because you're afraid of injury.
No, he's walking all right.
He has had an outstanding year. Like I said, he's second in the nation pass efficiency. Obviously leads the Big Ten. He's completed 67% of his passes.
Peter Elezovic has come in. No, that's not a new place kicker. He finally got around to telling the people that in the PR department that they're mispronouncing my name. Of course, we got hollered at for it, but it's spelled phonetically in the press book as Elezovic, but it's pronounced for the family as Elezovic. He hits a low line drive and he missed it.
Doesn't matter how you pronounce it, the result is the same as last week. He missed his first extra point last week. And really, if Michigan has a weakness, it has got to be in their field goal and extra point kicking. He did make it last week. He made the field goal. He just mishits that one. Just mishits it.
So having missed the point after, it's Michigan 6, Ohio State 3. They're working on Gerbach here now, as it appears he may have a bloody nose. The doctors are having a look at him, and they're making sure that he knows what day of the week it is.
And that could be right. It could be a slight concussion.
Yep.
I mean, he got hit awfully hard. I'm sure he got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. But earlier in the year, he missed a couple of games with that sprained ankle after the Notre Dame game. And Collins came in and did very well, thank you.
So the Wolverines will kick it off now. And for Ohio State, you'll have Smith and Benote back there. It is Smith at the 9. And taken down at the 24.
So go back to the touchdown where Gerbach gets hurt. He's going to take 3 steps back and then he's going to come right up the middle. And I think right there it's Chico Nelson hits him. And it looked like the lower left side with his helmet. Looked like he may have got a rib shot. Maybe the wind knocked out of him. But it's definitely his lower left side.
No, Chico's not one of the big guys.
He's a free safety. Wearing one of those small numbers, 13.
We'll whack you then. Robert Smith, your single back now for Ohio State, as Michigan has gone to the lead 6-3 here in the second quarter of play. 13:03 remaining. And Smith with the ball. No room as he tried to cut sharply and come in over the top of D.J. Jones and really along the line of scrimmage. Let's find out more about Elvis now from Jack.
Keith, the trainer, and Dr. Gerald O'Connor are ministering to Elvis Gerbach. Let me show you right where he got hit. It was right down here, and you know where the ribs are there. It not only took the wind out of his sails, but there is right here, Keith, right down in here, down by his rib cage. He took a heck of a shot, they say, and it actually not only took the wind out of him, but he's having a little bit of problem breathing. So they're going to keep him out for quite some time here until they're absolutely sure what the situation is.
Little pop over the middle to Cedric Saunders, the tight end. That's a good play. Old play, but still a good play. And it's a first down for the Buckeyes out around the 38-yard line.
Second time they've run that play, and it has worked beautifully both times. Michigan's scoring drive was 11 plays. Gerbach with the touchdown run.
Still dry, though, as far as we've had no rain now for almost 2 hours.
But it rained heavy last night, and it really has affected the field.
Herb Street back, getting some heat. And rather than risk his body, he'll go out of bounds. He got away from Bobby Powers behind the line of scrimmage and was able to turn it into about a 5-yard, maybe 6-yard pickup. It'll be second down and about 4.
Herb Street is the co-captain, really a leader. The team really has gelled around him this year. Fifth-year player. He was the first player to sign after John Cooper took over the program 5 years ago.
run together in the backfield, but the pass was finally thrown complete to the fullback, Cochran. And Cochran will have a first down for the Buckeyes on the Michigan side of the field at the 48-yard line. Shante Peoples made the tackle for the Wolverines.
Well, the game plan offensively for the Buckeyes is play action, roll the quarterback, get some running plays in, but get him outside and use the short pass that can keep the drives going and keep the ball away from Michigan.
On first down, Smith. You got to wrap him up. They didn't do it, and he wound up with about 7 yards. Against Indiana in the second half, when Ohio State scored 3 times in 11 minutes, this fellow Smith had a big 11 minutes.
Had 175 yards rushing last week against Indiana. As you saw, Hartman, number 52, leading the way. He has 10 carries for 42 yards. This kid was twice the player of the year in the state of Ohio, was Smith.
Set out last year because of, I think, probably several reasons, some of which we probably still don't know for sure. That's Jeff Cothran carrying the ball, taken down by Tony Henderson. Once again, Jack on Elvis.
Well, Keith, Bob Greasy was correct. It is officially listed as a rib contusion. They are only concerned about one thing. He is having trouble catching his breath. So I talked to Dr. Gerald O'Connor. He says they are definitely going to keep him out for a while to see if he gets his breath back. If not, it could be the end of Gerback for today.
Well, that was his first rushing touchdown ever, so maybe he's learned his lesson. He won't be sticking his head in the pile anymore.
Well, he's not a real agile guy to begin with. He doesn't have quick feet. He's not good outside the pocket.
Number 20, Corwin Brown takes Robert Smith down short of the line of scrimmage. And so that's going to bring up 4th down for Ohio State, and they'll have to send the kicking team in. Hunter this time. Joel Kessel will punt this time with the wind at his back. Last time he had a 29-yarder. Got it high, but didn't get much out of it. Alexander is a fellow who can bring it back the other way very quickly.
Number all the way to the right side. 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year.
Alexander lets it go, and
nice play.
They got it out of there. They got it just before it crossed the goal line. So a very good play by Chico Nelson. And they've got Michigan pinned deep. This 16-foot statue in front of City Hall, a gift from the school children and people of Genoa, Italy, who collected $20,000 for the bronze work by sculptor Eduardo Alfieri. Unveiling 1955. It is now said that Ohio's largest city is Columbus. Over 1 million in the metro area. Cincinnati could probably claim to be the largest city if you count those who live in Kentucky as part of the Cincinnati metro region. But all Ohio land, this is the biggest.
You could have fooled me on that one.
Me too. I did not know that until this morning. All right, Todd Collins checks in, 6'5", 240, sophomore, Walpole, Mass, and he is the man of the future. And they have put the ball out on the 20 instead of the 3. I'll tell you about that after this play. This is Jesse Johnson on his first appearance, and he's taken down just short of the 30. They had marked the ball down on the 3-yard line, but then somebody else got into the conversation and said he was over the goal when he slapped it back. This is Chico Nelson.
He was not over the goal. I mean, his foot was not in the end zone. As long as you hit the ball and don't touch the line, he does the right thing. He slaps it back out. If he would have recovered the ball and gone in, then it would have been a touchback. He slaps it, stays in the field of play, and that's a big break for Michigan.
Second down and short. And he gives it to Leggett, and Gurney gets the first down out on the 33. But I'll tell you what, that was within a half a breath of being a fumble, because Collins and Everett really hadn't locked up on that handoff, but he was able to fetch it out anyway.
Well, Michigan, as we mentioned, had 10 fumbles last week, and I'll bet at least 7 of them were caused by good tackling by Illinois. That is, hitting the ball with their forearm when they're tackling. They did a nice job of tackling the ball.
Jesse Johnson gets a greeting from number 90, Lorenzo Stiles, a freshman from Farrell, Pennsylvania. Jesse, this is my neighborhood. You're going to come walking down it. You're going to pay the tariff.
Uh-huh. He's a true freshman, young Stiles. Got some good linebackers here. Tovar, of course, you know about. And the other inside linebacker, Craig Powell, a redshirt freshman. They think he is going to be the next great inside linebacker here.
Tyrone Wheatley back into the lineup, the single back now at 7:50 to go in the first half, and Michigan leading 6-3. Todd Collins' first pass of the day, and it's Wheatley out of the backfield. Wheatley dives ahead and is close to a Michigan first down.
We get further word that it is the rib cage, the lower rib cage, but the concern is that Gerbach has been spitting up some blood. So they're going to hold him out and evaluate him probably at halftime. We'll see, maybe see him in the second half, maybe not.
Collins gets the first down, or Wheatley did actually, off that reception, and has the ball now, and he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Jason Simmons, the big junior from Akron.
Here's Simmons right here, 91. He's just going to go between the guard and the tackle. That's Jenkins, the tackle, and Skeen, number 72. That's a tough block for him to make. There it is, right from behind the offense. Does a nice job there. Offensive line not coordinated. If that ball was supposed to go wide, the blocking was not correct.
Second down and 14. Collins puts Wheatley in motion. Good protection. Tip down the middle. Number 2, Walter Taylor, had that ball in his hand. I mean, he was all set to intercept the ball and lost his footing and fell down.
Let's take a look at Michigan now. They use a no-huddle offense, and sometimes it's confusing to the defense. Take a look to the left now. You see the Michigan players coming on and off. Now, if Michigan substitutes, you've got to give Ohio State, the other team, time to substitute. And they did.
Ohio State wasn't sure how many people they had out there. They threw it across the field to Wheatley, setting up an open field screen almost for him, but Ohio State handled it very well, despite the fact there was a great deal of indecision and confusion as to whether or not they had 10, 11, 12, or 13 people out there.
Michigan loves screens, and this was just a different variety.
Didn't work for anything, and so Stapleton's in the ball game. His first kick was a good one, but that was with the wind at his back. Now he'll punt to Walter Taylor with the wind in his face.
5 block punts this year for Ohio State.
Low kick. Taylor can't get to it and field it. They're going to knock that thing dead inside the 5. Put it on the 3-yard line. So everything worked just right. 49 yards with the roll and dead at the Ohio State 3. Ohio State from the 3-yard line now. They didn't move the ball this time. Pass is thrown out here to Stabline, and Brian can't get his feet working. They pick up 5 yards on the play on the pass completion, and here's Jack.
Well, Keith, you and Bob both have talked about one way to discount speed or to account for it or handle it is through turf conditions. Now remember, this field, we said, is somewhat dry, the footing a little slippery, but look how deep this turf is. But don't get too upset if you're a Michigan fan, because remember 1 year ago, Keith, on the 28th of September, they played a game against Florida State. It was just this deep at Ann Arbor.
Wasn't this wet, though. A little looser today.
Second down and 5. Herbstreit throwing on the run and hitting his target, Stabline, right between the 8s. And the Buckeyes now have some real estate to work with. Good pass, good catch. First. Robert Smith. He hasn't broken one yet, but every time he puts the ball under his arm, that potential is there. I mean, he heightens the intensity of the defense instantly.
Well, he is on a roll also. I mean, the last 3 weeks, he's gained over 100 yards each game. We mentioned 175 last week. In fact, the only 2 losses this year by Ohio State, both he and Herbstreit were injured and either missed the game or got hurt during the game.
Second down and 6. Ball sailed. Ball came sailing out of his hands, and he lost control of it, and it's incomplete. Stabline was over there. But
Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, is going to get an idea of what, and there you take a look at Lloyd, what Ohio State is doing. He knows he's not dropping back. He's not going to stay in the pocket, so he may try to contain him more, bring his linebackers and ends upfield, and not worry about rushing him in the pocket, but expect him on the corner.
Chris Sanders, who is the burner, at wide out for them, the flanker, sophomore out of Denver, leaves the game. And DeGraffenreid Reed replaces him, number 83. Third down and 6. Pretty good piece of running there. Herbstreit hiding literally behind the offensive man. Then he got the defensive charge mixed up a little bit. Finally ran away from him and appears to be very close to a first down.
Now, this is not his strength or the offensive strength. In the pocket on 3rd and long. He gets jumpy. He had time to throw. Now he just doesn't know what to do. But he can run. And he uses his athletic ability to get a feel. Now, look at the lower left. The little orange marker there shows him where the first down marker is. The chains are on the other side of the field, but that's a good innovation in football, that they have something marking the first down on the other side of the field.
Very close to the 33 for the first down. Time remaining in the first half, 3:58. Michigan 6, Ohio State 3. Herbstreit still got it, runs away from the clutches of Zankowitz. And Shante Peoples almost had one. Oh, I'll let him tell you. Jeff Tuchman, single back. Second down and 10. The pass is over the head of Sanders. He was tangled up a little bit with Wayne Ware, didn't get out fast enough. And the pass from Herbstreit was well over his head.
Well, a little change up that time. Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator, 6 man on the line of scrimmage, everybody blitzing and tight coverage. He's saying, all right, if you're going to throw the ball, we're going to put tight coverage on you and make you throw it really well to get the completion. That time it was nowhere near being completed.
Thrown that little swing to Smith yet today. Out of the shotgun, they hand it to Smith. And he's up to the 40, but that's a good 4 yards short of the first down. And so the Buckeyes will have to punt it away.
Out here, 97, that's Chris Hutchinson. Draw play, the tackle sets up. Here comes the guard to block out on him. Sees what's going on, knows it's 3rd and 9 or 10, so you don't have to make a great play, but just make sure you tackle him within the 9 or 10 yard area. Smart player right there.
So Kessel is in to punt, and Alexander is back to accept it for Michigan. Got a chance with it. Penalty flag.
Everybody that's got a flag has lost it.
Yeah, it's a face mask, I think. 35-yard punt, 23-yard return, plus a face mask penalty coming up.
Face mask 24.
I'm not calling down holding sometime, for goodness sake. They're choking us to death.
we showed you earlier that Alexander has run back 2 touchdowns this year. I mean, 2 punt returns for touchdowns. This is the way you have to run on this field. Straight up field. That'll be a severe penalty.
15th.
Yeah. But the way you want to get yardage here is not by going sideways, but straight up. No sharp cuts.
John Cooper appealing for something with the officials.
He's complaining about the holding.
But that penalty puts Michigan all the way down on the Ohio State 37-yard line with a first down. Todd Collins, Jesse Johnson, and Bernie Leggett in the back. We're back injured, scoring a touchdown. The only touchdown of the ball game, and Collins has replaced him. And the quick feet of the skater Jesse Johnson. He gets at least 6 on that carry. Collins looking to the sideline. This is a worrisome thing to me. I'm sorry, it just is.
What's that, Keith?
This no huddle
yeah.
and looking to the sidelines and all of the people scattered all over the place.
Not only is he looking to get the play, but he's also, whenever the play comes, you have certain people in the ball game that you need to get in there. Now, what's happening here is a change of quarterback and a change of his tempo and the way he goes to the line of scrimmage and calls the plays. You saw the play before this. The back moved a little bit early.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense.
Cadence. One quarterback has one timing. Another quarterback will use another timing. It's just, you see this happen so often when you change quarterbacks.
2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the first half. 6-3 the score. John Cooper is not.
John wants him to call it both ways. I know the feeling.
Johnson, alone back. Pressure coming. Penalty flag thrown just as Todd Collins is boomed by Jason Simmons. I think that's probably holding on the offense. So very quickly they're going the other way. Or maybe they are calling it forfeit.
Well, sometimes it does help to yell at the officials. Now you'll see the substitution at the top of your screen. Now, Moeller is trying to get, first of all, he wants to find out which play he wants. Before he sends the players in, he's got to find the play. Got to find out how long the yardage is going to be.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
Because of the spot of the foul, it's actually a 14-yard penalty. The ball comes back to the Michigan 48.
All right, you see some players coming on, some coming off. The rule is you have to come off the bench and inside those numbers. See where 40 is and 50 is. You have to come inside of them, and then you can go line up somewhere. You just can't come.
Walter Smith running around there with a message to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, the old shoe now gets a little loud. The crowd gets into the ball game. This can be a very noisy place. Collins wanted to go deep. Runs out of time. Number 56 eats him up. Randall Brown, sophomore from Detroit. It wasn't very long ago that Michigan was down on the Ohio State 37-yard line. Now it is 3rd down and 33, and the ball is back inside the Michigan 40.
Things have not gone well for Todd Collins. There was nobody open downfield, and he took a big sack.
Want to draw with Jesse Johnson. And he is to the Ohio State 49, and coming up on 1 minute to go in the first half. 6-3 Michigan leads Ohio State. And the Buckeyes look like they want a timeout. 1:05 remaining in the first half. Golden gets it out, a low line drive. This time Taylor's got a little room, but he goes quickly to the sidelines, saving time. Out of bounds at the 23. And as we look down on the old Ohio Stadium out of the Goodyear Blimp Spirit, pilot Don McDuff handling the control. The fanciest of the fancy ones. That is the new one.
Said you rode in that one, huh?
Yes.
And you sat at the controls, did you?
Yes.
Did you land it?
But not alone, lad.
And you didn't land it or take it off?
Nay, no.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was fun, though.
It's too steady for Keith, and Keith's not up there now. I can tell. I've ridden with him on the highways.
It's level. That's the important thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm ballast. 23. Ohio State's ball. They got 59 seconds to work with in the first half. They trail by 3 points. Herbstreit gets it off to the sideline. Stay blind, trying to get out of bounds, and he does. Out at the 29. At the 6-yard pickup. Brian Stabline, walk on, heady, steady, not fast, not flashy, just does the right thing.
Has 82 career receptions coming into this ball game.
Caught 6 today for 57 yards. He's a possession type of receiver. Meaning he ain't running fly patterns. Herbstreit back. Underneath. Smith. He's out of bounds. Going for the marker, didn't get to it. It'll be 3rd down and short. I'll tell you what. You put that Robert Smith out there one-on-one and hold your breath.
Yep. He is an outstanding player. Gained over 1,000 yards 2 years ago as a true freshman. And as you mentioned, set out last year. He comes into this ball game today with over 650 yards.
They go inside to the big guy, Coughlin, the fullback, and he'll have the first down. 235-pounder. And you know who's there. Number 36 is always around that ball. Number 91, Dyson. Ohio State very much in this ball game now. If they get to halftime at 6-3. Good pass. Catch. Stay blind. That one had some sizzle on it.
Well, just control passing. Michigan that time up in man-to-man coverage, and Stabline just whipped it. I'm impressed with Herbstreit, Keith. Not a great thrower, but you know you'd classify him as an overachiever. But he's getting every ounce of ability out of himself in this game, and he's a hot player coming in.
2nd down and 1 out of the shotgun. Underneath, Stabline again. Another first down. Clock stop. 30 seconds to play in the first half. They've got 2 timeouts to work with. Well, they're right up on the line as the chains are being moved. As soon as they get them in place, they'll snap the ball. They're on the Michigan side now. And you got penalty flags.
Sometimes the offensive line get a little antsy and move before the ball is snapped.
Left tackle.
Yep.
Dead ball. Ball starts. Offense.
Allen's line moved a little sooner.
seconds on the clock. 3-0. 3-0.
That's right, because there was 30 seconds before the last play, and when he moved, 4 seconds ran off, and if there was no play, there shouldn't be any time off the clock.
See what they do now with Robert Smith. He's in there as the lone back, standing alongside the quarterback in the shotgun. So let's see. Screen. And Michigan smelled it, and Tony Henderson, the middle guard, broke it up. So the Wolverines read it just as quickly as you did, Bob, and messed it up. 24 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, they tried to get the ball to Smith. Not a bad way to do it. The other way, of course, is to get it on a swing behind the line of scrimmage or just something downfield.
Now they've got the burner in there, that fellow whose feet you see at the top of the picture. That's Chris Sanders. And he takes off. And Herbstreit turns it over that way and throws underneath him for Cedric Saunders, the tight end. And in the meantime, Chris Sanders had taken 2 backs with him deep. So there was a whole lot of space in that intermediate zone over there.
William Carroll, please meet the sheriff at gate 18. Will William Carroll please meet the sheriff at gate 18?
Somebody's being told to go meet the sheriff. I beg your pardon. I think I might walk a little slowly for that appointment. From the 47-yard line, 3rd down and 15. 18 seconds. Penalty flag. Holding call coming up against Ohio State. Pass was complete to Stabline, but that one will come back. I think. Somebody hit to the hay. Whoa, big call there. Somebody's head slap.
Gary Moeller giving it the old choke. You know, you might think the intensity is not here. Certainly on the sidelines it is. Both these teams have wrapped up their bowls where they're going, but these coaches are certainly intense. And I think that the field condition takes away a little bit from the hitting and the intensity and the cutting of the players. You have to be very sensitive and very careful how you're moving around out here.
12 seconds. And it's first down, Ohio State. The ball is at the Michigan 38-yard line. Wolverines leading by 3 points. In a defensive ball game, pretty much. Herbstreit gets it off, incomplete. It was intended for Greg Beatty and thrown behind him. So here comes 4th down, and here comes Tim Williams, maybe. The wind's at the back. He had a 57-yarder here when he was in high school. But this would be a big one.
Why not?
Try it.
Yep.
See where they put it. They're going to spend the time out here to talk about things, I guess. There's only 5 seconds left. They spend their last time out, and Ohio State called it. Tim Williams, the ball will be right around his personal best ever, either 56 or 57 yards. In the first half of play, 6-3, Michigan leading Ohio State. Tim Williams from Waynesville is going to roll up all 5'9", 180 pounds of himself and give this thing a wallop. With long grass, slippery, makes it more difficult. It'll be 56 yards. 56. He kicked one here in high school in the playoffs at 57. On the way. pass missed it. So it's over. First half ends. Michigan 6, Ohio State 3. President of Ohio State University talking about the football program, the university, and in particular the head coach, John Cooper. As we get ready to play football here, let's join Jack Arute for a moment and get an update on the condition of Elvis Gerbach.
Well, Keith, according to Dr. O'Connor, he is cleared to play, but they've elected to leave him out. At least this is what Dr. O'Connor seems to think coming out of the locker room. Leave him out initially and see how the other quarterback, Collins, does.
Well, they lead by a score of 6-3, which hardly is a comfortable lead in this ball game.
No. Just a comment on your conversation with President Gee. Not only is the recruiting process impacted, but also the assistant coaches. If the assistant coaches have an opportunity to go to a job offer when a situation is going to be reviewed at the end of the year, like President Gee said it is, Cooper has lost 9 assistants over the last 2 years that have gone on to be coordinators, head coaching jobs in the NFL. And it's uncertainty with the assistants and their families, too, that creates a problem.
I expect the old board of trustees have got a little clout in this whole thing. And the problem is,
there you go. You just said the key word
of a lot of the uncertainty. 6-yard line for Mercury Hayes, the freshman out of Houston, Texas. And he's up to about the 23, and there they'll go to work.
The first half stats. Look at the total plays. Ohio State 44-26, but jumped to the bottom. Time of possession only 2 minutes plus for Ohio State. Michigan only has 120 yards of total offense, as you see Todd Collins coming back in to start the second half.
One of the Bucks coming off the field. Lead up a little bit. That's Tito Paul, who's blocked a couple of punts this year at the special team. So from the 23, here goes Michigan now. As they move Leggett in the backfield and hand the ball off. Nope. Fake it and give it away. They do give it away. Back to me, I couldn't see if Wheatley had it or not. I'll tell you this, that Collins did a pretty good job of hiding it. And Wheatley hiding the ball, putting it away again. He has not fumbled the ball today.
From behind, this is what was said. Let's go out there and run the ball. Great blocking. Skeen 72. That's Everett 51 looking for somebody in the middle of the field to block. There was nobody there.
Wheatley is 36 yards. Powers 23. Leggett 10 and Johnson 28. That's the running core for the Wolverines. Here goes Wheatley again. And there's a red shirt in the backfield with him, Mark Williams, with help from Powell. And he doesn't get anything out of that particular carry.
Michigan had the ball 5 times in the first half. Elvis Gerbach was in for the first 3. He scored on that touchdown. And then the last 2 possessions were by Collins. Neither one of them did very well throwing the ball. Wheatley has 29 yards, as we mentioned, and Wheatley leading the receivers with 2. No receiver, wide receivers for Michigan has a reception. Nelson with 8 tackles and an interception. The free safety leads Ohio State in tackles.
Change in to check on the first down. Just starting the second half of play. Michigan 6 and Ohio State 3, and they're just that much short. About a yard, half a yard.
20, excuse me, Keith. 26 first half plays for Michigan, and only 3 completions, and none of them to a wide receiver. The bruised left leg just below the knee for Paul. He may return.
Mark Melia, number 67, checks into the offensive line. He'll go into the guard position. Fullback Bernie Leggett sets up. Short yardage play coming here as they put in the big uglies along the front. Give it to Leggett, and with his power on the offensive line surge, they'll put it up on the 35-yard line and have the first down.
Stopped by Roger Harper.
The big fullback gets the dirty work. All the short yardage plays and all of the blocking for the glamour backs, the 3 tailbacks.
Schumer comes into the ball game. We have not called his name today. He's in there as a wideout. The ball has not been thrown to him. Todd Collins, the quarterback. Wheatley. He just slid off the stack.
Oh, geez, did you see that?
Chico Nelson is flat of his back after that collision. Wheatley just hammered him, and Nelson is down. And that is a first-class All-American collision. Whoa.
Well, Wheatley has the speed of a thoroughbred to go the distance, but look at this power. He just lowers his head and shoulders, and Chico Nelson is still down. 225 pounds. Holding on to the ball much better this week. And Nelson is just, he's down.
Play game 4 yards, ball is on the 39.
So timeout for Chico Nelson, the safety for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who has had his bell rung by the running back of the Michigan Wolverines. 13:32 to go in the third quarter.
Let's go back and take a look at that last play. Last week, Tyrone Wheatley had 5 fumbles. Look at the ball now. It's away from his body. But when you get into traffic, right there, hold it. See, he tucked the ball away. He put it inside, protected it a little bit more. Now he has not had a fumble this week, but last week he had the ball away from his body, running through holes, and didn't protect it.
And it's second down and long 5. Ball just short of the 40. Jesse Johnson is in the backfield for Michigan and has the ball. And has a first down. So those Michigan tailbacks are hitting some people, aren't they? That time number 51 took the brunt of the punishment. That's Mark Williams. He's at 225 pounds. But
yeah, but they're not hitting anybody till they get 10, 15 yards into the secondary.
Right.
That
exactly
offensive
right.
line and Leggett, the fullback, are just opening up some huge holes.
Michigan trying to find out just where their bread's buttered here in the early going of the second half, leading 6-3. Johnson again, about 3 yards. He did it, buddy. Second down and 7. This reads fast, and it is. Collins lets it go. He had Alexander over here and then threw it out of bounds. He had a lot of time, which means he does not read the field nearly as quickly as his elder predecessor, Elvis Gerback.
That's a good point, because he did have lots of time and he waited too long to come back. Obviously, Alexander not his primary receiver, but you have to read quicker and come back to your secondary targets.
Gerback on the sideline, pacing around. He's capable of playing, but they don't want to play. Chico Nelson is back now after having had that collision with Ty Wheatley.
Gerback looks to me like he's going to be back pretty soon.
It does, doesn't it? He's starting to holler at people.
Yeah.
Jesse Johnson's forgotten to play. Jesse said, wait a minute. I don't know if that's exactly what happened. There was something wrong with the play, and Collins, rather than mess things up, spends timeout.
Michigan came out second half running the ball very well, but Gary Moeller with that long pass, you just can't run every play. Now you get yourself in a long situation, you've got to throw the ball.
It'll be third down and 6. We noted early on in the ball game that Gary Moeller had been a captain of the Ohio State team. That was in 1962. But in 1961, the Buckeyes were 8-0-1. They were tied by Texas Christian in the opener, and they won all the games in the conference. Then the question came up, and they voted back in those days, should the team go play in the Rose Bowl? Well, the athletic council said, yes, let's go 6-4, but the faculty council voted 28-25 no, and they didn't go. Minnesota went and won and kept the money.
What'd they do with the faculty council?
They had their way. The only point was they didn't have any cash to go with it. That's in there. Oh, he had it, and he dropped it. Nelson got a hand on it, and then Roger Harper went up in the air and couldn't pull it in. And it looks like Walter Smith is shaken up on the play. Smith is down.
He was trying to get this ball to a wide receiver, Walter Smith. Good protection. Ball is thrown just a little behind him. And if Harper hadn't slipped, he would have intercepted it easily. From behind the defense. And see how he'd get hurt. But Harper can't come up with it after he had slipped.
Chris Stapleton is in to punt for Michigan, and Walter Taylor is deep to receive it. Fourth punt of the day for Stapleton. Got it out with the wind behind him. It's a tight spiral, and it goes well into the end zone. And so it'll come out to the 20 at 12:03 to go in the third quarter, and it's still 6-3 Michigan. You had your choice of which player to throw the flag on, but the college ball, they don't do that.
Michigan with only 35 yards passing so far, and Ohio State outgaining the Wolverines in total yardage.
It's now second down and 14 with the penalty. Ball coming back to the 28. The Graffenried is now your man at the top of the picture. Herbstreit throws to the tight end Saunders up at the 35, 36-yard line. Nickel and dime stuff, but they'll take it. It'll be third down now and about 6. Purdue over Indiana at the halftime. Iowa, Minnesota. This is Dave Bernson's favorite game. Lloyd of Rosedale rules the day in that game. 3rd and 6. Protection is good. The pass to Stabline. First down. Bryan makes a big play out of it. All the way down to the Michigan 45-yard line. Shawnee Peoples brought him down. Boy, he's having a heck of a day.
I'll say 10 receptions, 99 yards for Stabline. Good time. Crossing route. High possession type. What am I trying to say? Percentage completion percentage. There you go. Third down. Good play.
The Ohio State record is 13 catches by Gary Williams, 1981. First down for the Buckeyes, just inside the Michigan 45. It's only 6-3 ball game. Michigan leading. That pass, nice catch. That is a very good catch by Alan de Graffenried.
It's interesting to look at the Ohio State first half possessions, and it tells you something about Michigan defensively. Look at the play column. On no possession did Ohio State go 3 plays and out. So they've been on the field. They've been making first downs. Michigan defensively has not stopped them. They've kept them out of the end zone, but they haven't made them 3 and out.
Second down and 5. Send Robert Smith into the traffic. And there's a yard. Matt Dyson, the principal tackler there. Sophomore from Maryland. The bowl situation in the Big Ten is quite entertaining. And the one that is in the centermost pile of it all is the thrifty car rental Holiday Bowl out in San Diego, which is going to take the most eligible of the teams remaining. That is, Ohio State's going to the Citrus, Michigan to the Rose, and number 3 was supposed to be going to the Holiday Bowl. Tell you about it after this play. Third down and 4. Herbstreit timeout. So let's have a look at what's going on in the Big Ten now as far as the bowls are concerned. We told you where Michigan and Ohio State are going. You know that. Now the Holiday Bowl right now is looking to take the winner of today's Illinois-Michigan State game.
They both have 5 wins.
Yes. The winner will have 6. That qualifies them. Iowa is playing Minnesota. Now, if Iowa wins, they will have 6 wins and 6 losses, but still the Copper Bowl out in Tucson has committed to them. If Michigan State and Illinois tie and don't get to 6 wins, and Iowa does win, then Iowa goes back to the Holiday Bowl. But then on the other hand, you've got Indiana. If they win today, they'll have 6 wins. Wisconsin wins today, they'll have 6 wins.
You were doing a good job there for a while, then you lost me.
It's
now here's a look at the AP top 10 right here. And look down at Michigan. Michigan is number 6. They'll have no games left after today. If they should win today, they'll be undefeated but twice tied. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they could still be in the national championship hunt. Although it is remote, they're still sitting there with no losses.
I'll tell you what John Reed said last week. I talked to him, bothered him quite a bit trying to figure out this thing out there, and he's trying to figure it out until the Copper Bowl made their deal with Iowa. And he said if Michigan State and Illinois tie, he's going to jump off the Coronado Bridge and float to Tahiti. 38-yard line. It is 3rd down and 4. Wolverines show blitz, pick it up. Squawk for a penalty by DeGraffenreid. Reid. He felt he was held. And Brian Stabline collided with Ty Law. He says he's being held by Ty Law. Michigan secondary people are clapping their hands. Ohio State folks are hollering. The officials probably are saying you couldn't have caught it, son, because the ball was 5 feet over your head.
And he's saying if I wasn't held, I could have got it. See if the ball is tipped.
May have been. If it is, then everything's off. Well, I can't tell.
Could have been.
Could have been, yes. So it brings up 4th down. And it's toward the corner, but it takes a straight ahead bounce. And Michigan will come out for the 20 with a 1st down. 7:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and it's still anybody's ball game. Jesse Johnson checks into the backfield now for Michigan. Todd Collins remains the quarterback for the Wolverines. Johnson searching around for some daylight. 57 got in by the shoes and wouldn't let go. Greg Smith was able to drag him down. Got about a yard. Make it 2.
It's been a tight series, especially the last 3 times they've played here in Columbus. Michigan has won all 3, but by 3 points or less.
Mercury Hayes, the wide man to the bottom of the picture. Crowd trying to bother Collins. He turns around and looks at Tom Quinn, the referee. There's been a flag thrown here. They burned up the clock. It'll be up to Tom Quinn to make the decision. And he's going to call too much time against Michigan. So he went along with the man on the side who threw it. Collins turned around and looked at him twice.
It was a good look at Todd Collins, just a young quarterback, just a sophomore, has played in 2 games this year. Both of them were at home, the 2nd and 3rd game of the year. Oklahoma State, he played well, and Houston, he played well, but it was at home in a friendly crowd. Elvis Skerbach knocked out earlier with a lower rib injury, was spitting up some blood earlier, but he looks like he's in pretty good shape right now.
Collins needs to go ahead and snap it, and he does. He gives it off to Johnson, and Johnson gets back to just over the 20, where Steve Tovar makes the tackle on him.
Stopped by Steve Tovar.
So put it on the 21-yard line and bring up 3rd down and 9 now for Michigan.
8-5, all of the 21.
Steve Tovar is from Ohio, and he was going to Michigan. He said, I'm going to Michigan. In fact, he wore a Michigan t-shirt for 3 months prior to committing to Michigan. Then he visited Ohio State, and he changed his mind. And Moeller, when he was at Michigan, said, don't do it. I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling, and exactly what Moeller told him happened did happen. He went to Ohio State.
Collins with good protection, and his pass is on the money to Toomer. Toomer's first catch of the day, and it's good for a first down, and the Wolverines have some breathing room.
And the first reception by a wide receiver today for Michigan.
Toomer is 6'3", 180, a freshman out of Concord, California. Put the name away. He will be very prominent before he's done, I expect. Tyrone Wheatley back now with Bernie Leggett in the backfield. That's Tony McGee lined up on the wing for blocking purposes, and Wheatley breaks it big. Picks up about 12 yards on the carry before Roger Harper brings it down up across the 45 at the 46.
Wheatley is just like a freight train going through the line of scrimmage. You give him a crack, and he's got the power of a freight train also. And he's so big. The only chink in the armor was last week when he dropped the ball 5 times, and that seems to have been corrected.
Here he comes again. The one thing I don't think you want to do is take him on head on, because Chico Nelson tried it a little while ago.
Didn't he?
And he didn't know his zip code for a whole series. Wheatley now 13 carries, 63 yards, but he, as Bob mentioned a while ago, he has not fumbled. So this is a big, big confidence builder for him.
We mentioned in the opening that Michigan came in struggling, and they have continued to struggle. And what they've done the second half is go back and put it on the offensive line. Just do the run.
Collins a little pop to Tony McGee, the tight end. McGee's a load. You don't arm tackle him. Roger Harper finally got enough of his legs to bring him down, but he got all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Well, they've been running the ball so well. That now these linebackers are going to sit in here and fill real quick, and he's going to pop it to the tight end after the play fake. Draws the linebackers, pop it over their head. Good, smart call.
Jesse Johnson back in the backfield. Paraquest leg. Big hole. 3 laundry trucks and a small coach could have gone through that one. Walter Taylor makes the tackle. And great, close to a first down.
Great block by Bernie Leggett on Tovar, the linebacker. Here's Tovar right here. Here's Leggett. He's going to shoot the gap and watch the collision. Huge gaping hole. Look at this. Great block by Leggett, the fullback. Tovar is responsible for this gap. Tovar is an All-American last year. Is up for the Butkus Award. And that is a big block by Bernie Leggett.
First down.
Matt Elliott was a starting guard for Michigan last year. The last player drafted in the last round this year in the NFL.
Lucky guy, though. He'll do well, I think. Wish him well. Great kid. First down. Pass complete. Tony McGee down to the 11-yard line. Tackle made by Tim Walton. So now Collins showing a little more aplomb here in this possession. He moves the team down the field.
It calmed down. You see Moeller gets a call from upstairs. Gary, not only the head coach, but the offensive coordinator. Got a lot of things going over there. Clipboards.
I don't see why he doesn't have an anxiety attack.
He needs another arm. He needs 3 arms going on.
Oh, man. Second down and 3. Johnson. First down and goal to go at the 5, and a penalty flag follows the tackle. Looks like another face mask.
Yeah. Johnson knew it. Signaled to the official. He agreed. Look from behind the defense. That's Skeen, 72. pulling and trapping.
5-yard face mask on the defense.
Johnson doesn't go down with the first block, and there Taylor, number 2, has his hand on the face mask.
And so they mark off 2.5 yards, and it's first down and goal to go for Michigan. Jesse Johnson with Bernie Leggett and Tony McGee, and they're one man short. Finally, Doug Skeen gets out there. Johnson down the pipe to the 1.
Jesse Johnson here.
You figure here they'll just get beaten on the door till it swings open.
I think so. That time Collins barely got the ball handed off before he was tripped up by the right guard who was pulling. Right there, Picozo, that could have been dangerous. That happens more than you might think, too.
Johnson reaches for the goal line and did not get there. Somebody took a swipe at the ball as he reached out toward the goal line, and he may be very lucky he didn't knock it out of his hand. So it's 3rd and goal. Still a 6-3 ball game.
This 4-down territory here. If you don't make it on this one, you still run it. So that's why you run it on this play here. The angle would be awful to try a field goal from here.
Touchdown, Todd Collins.
Nice call by Gary Moeller. You think Bo Schembecker would have made that call?
Sure.
Huh?
Sure.
Gary was the offensive coordinator and has really loosened up the offense since he's taken over. I mean, you probably could have made it, giving it to the tailback once or maybe twice more. But this sets up the opponents down the line. I know you only got one game left, but these types of things force the next opponents to defend more of the field.
Elezovic. Well, that better be right. Good. Minute and 33 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Michigan now by 10. The Wistert brothers back in the 30s and 40s. Francis, Albert, and Alvin all voted first team All-American. And who was it? Was it Albert? Albert is the one that came out of the military and became an All-American when he was 31 years old.
Take a look at the fake on the last touchdown.
Looked like Greasy at Purdue.
Pretty good fake there.
All right, here we go with a kickoff that's going to go out of bounds. So now Ohio State can have it up on the 35. Or there is an option on this, but I would surely think they would take it at the 35. There was no time lost off the clock because the ball was beyond the field of play. And we got a light rain starting to fall. We made it through almost 3 quarters without rain.
Todd Collins on that last drive was 3 of 3 and 36 yards.
Kicking the ball out of bounds.
Play selection in the ball game for Michigan. 36 running plays and only 10 passes. Here's a look at plus yardage on first down. 13 times they have not made 4 yards, and 10 times they have.
We get Raymond Harris at tailback for the first time today for Ohio State. Play action there, a little waggle, and the pass is away, and he had Sanders open, but Herb Street couldn't hit him. And here's Jack.
Keith, you know, we love to go to the campus bookstores and find the most unusual T-shirts we can find. Well, here at Ohio State, they've initiated one for this contest, and it's my old buddy Elmer Fudd, and he says, "I hate wabbits and Wolverines." But a lot like Elmer Fudd, right now Ohio State is getting beaten by the Wolverines.
You know who he reminds me of that Kep? The Artful Dodger. Second down and 10. Minute and 27 to go in the third quarter. He got it off to the fullback Cochran, and Cochran sticks his head between people, and the big fullback hammers for a first down for the Buckeyes. And here's John. They tell us that fellow Pickens, who was here at Ohio State, and many thought was going to be a great quarterback. Didn't he go to Duke?
Transfer to Duke, yeah. Carolina needs to win that game for a bowl bid.
Play action again, ball thrown underneath. Again, it's the fullback Cochran, and again, it's a first down for Ohio State at the Michigan 40. 1:01 to go in the third quarter. There's the Spirit up there. That's the Olentangy River, where earlier today the Michigan and Ohio State crews, men and women, were involved in a regatta. This is the first ever winter appearance for a Goodyear blimp over an Ohio sporting event, wearing Michigan colors.
You noticed that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Ball is given to Harris this time. Raymond Harris, number 34, is a 226-pound junior from Lorain, Ohio. He's listed number 2 on the depth chart.
Ohio State has moved the ball on every possession against the Michigan defense, but they've only been able to kick a field goal. They have 3 points through almost 3 quarters, end up coming up to the end of 3 quarters.
Well, that first field goal try of 38 yards was blocked because they forgot to block. So 3's done. We'll be back with the finish after this message and a word from our ABC station. It is a lonely post of duty the man has, but there's one every game. He is the eye in the sky, the eagle. For security, there's your crowd today, and that incidentally sets a new single-season attendance record for 6 home games at Ohio Stadium. Michigan set a record at their place last week. Little pump there, throw to the sidelines to Stabline, and Stabline is handled over there by Ty Law. They keep testing that freshman, and so far, as what we've seen of him, he's held up very well.
That was the pop pass to the tight end again. He just fell down, or he would have been open.
When you have numbers like this, that's passing yardage is terribly one-sided, but on the other hand, Ohio State hasn't been able to run much.
Well, the total yardage for Ohio State is still almost 41 yards more than Michigan. They've moved the ball, but they haven't scored.
Only ran for 5 yards in the third quarter. Herbstreit buys time, rolling out, throws too high. This time for Stabline. He has been a principal target all day, and he has been working a lot of the day against Ty Law.
Well, Herbstreit threw 24 passes in the first half. He came into the game averaging only 21 passes a game. He is now 21 of 39.
Well, they just sent Robert Smith into the ball game and took Raymond Harris out. And I guess on 4th and 4, they're going to have a go.
That's a good area to go for it. Too long for a field goal, and you need touchdowns.
Down the middle, pass caught by Stabline for a first down. Put it on the 27-yard line of Michigan.
Well, there's nothing to this. Stabline is here. He's just going to run down past the first down marker and hook in the center of the field. No flare control, no back skid out over there. If the linebacker had dropped back, in that area, he would not have been open.
12 catches now, 111 yards.
12 catches.
12 catches. He's one away from the record held by Gary Williams, set in 1981. Raymond Harris is back in now on first down at tailback. Stabline belted it, kept it, goes down the middle with it to Sanders, got it on his hands, but Sanders between Wolverines could not pull it in. Ty Law and Corwin Brown defending. And the freshman is still down on the grass.
Well, he's going to beat number 22 Law, but Corwin Brown from the other side is coming. He's coming. And there he is.
And that's why he's down.
Yep.
He got sandwiched between them. Ty Law is also shaken up as the result of the collision. Field, Chris Sanders did too after a goodly time down on the grass in the end zone after having been sandwiched. So he looks like he'll be all right. A little tender tomorrow. And in to replace Ty Law is Dean Johnson at a corner. And here's Ohio State, second down and 10. 27-yard line. Robert Smith is the single back for Ohio State. Play action. They throw it to the sideline. Stabline doesn't hold it. He had it, but Corwin Brown knocked it loose. Otherwise, Ohio State would be sitting on about the 11-yard line with the first down.
It's just good defense. Good execution and a good throw. Look at this. Over where and in front of the corner. I mean, and the hit is right there. That's a big-time play. It's Corwin Brown.
Ty Law comes back.
Corwin Brown has been all over the place, not only this week, but also last week. He has been an outstanding player.
Yeah, he has really been active today.
Ty Law is back in at corner. Yep. True freshman.
It's 3rd and 10 for Ohio State. That's the fullback, Coughlin.
I tell you, this kid is tough.
He's a good player.
We talk about Robert Smith and Raymond Harris and Buster Benote, Cutler Benote, but this kid not only blocks for him, catches a lot of passes and has caught a lot of passes today, but also is a tough runner. Cothran has caught 4 passes today, most of them on first down play action.
First down, the ball just inside the 17, and Chris Sanders checked back into the lineup at a wideout. He and Greg Beatty. That's Sanders in motion. Well, they run it. Bad time to run it. Blitzing, Shante, people.
You got it.
Matt Dyson. Wacko, big loss on the play. All right, John. Commodores are hanging on to him, aren't they?
Yep.
13-15 to go in this ball game. That sack moves the ball back to a second down and at least 15 for Ohio State. Play action, a lot of time now for Herbstreit. Sideline, he goes to Jones. And the big tight end, 260-pound freshman, D.J. Jones from Lebanon, Ohio. Boy, I tell you what, if he ever grows up, he'll be something, won't he? Wow.
Ohio State continues to use the style of offense that have been successful for him moving the ball, and that is play action, roll out, but they have not been able to get the ball in the end zone.
Stabline has come off the field hurt, limping. He's out of there right now, their possession receiver. And it's 3rd down and 4. Beatty was the intended receiver, apparently, and Herbstreit, I don't know, somebody turned the wrong way. Beatty might have gone inside when he thought he was going outside. Either that or the ball just slid off his hand and flew away.
The timing is bad. He's throwing it before the receiver stops. Look at this. He expected the receiver to stop a little quicker. Now, you mentioned Stabline just came out. Beatty is the backup, so it's a different guy running the route.
So on 4th down, they'll go for the 3. Tim Williams. It's 29 yards. He's missed one, had one blocked and made one, and hits this one right through there. So at 12:15 to go in the ball game, it's now 13-6. Let's pause 5 seconds right here for our ABC station to tell you who they are.
4 minutes, 17 seconds.
Channel 10, WPLG, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Good leading, 12:15 to play and 16 to play in the ball game. Buckeyes hanging on. Tyrone Wheatley, 3-yard line. Coming up the sidelines, one man takes him down. And one man, Walter Taylor, sort of boxed him in, used the boundary as a helper.
Wheatley doesn't dodge any confrontations, does he?
Nope.
Wheatley came in averaging 113 yards per game on the ground. Wolverines have won it on the road as well as at home.
From the 26-yard line, Wheatley and Leggett line up behind Todd Collins. Wheatley has it. 72 couldn't hold him. They finally run him backing down after a yard pickup. Roger Harper getting him. Dan Wilkinson had a shot at him, but he just couldn't quite get a handle on it. This is what's going on in the Big Ten. Wisconsin trailing Northwestern in the second quarter. If Wisconsin can win that game, they will have 6 wins and qualify for a bowl game, I do believe. At least qualify for a bowl bid. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get one. Kind of disappointing, I have to say it, to see a 6-16 going to a bowl. I really don't know about that. Leggett brought down at the 30, and they'll be looking at 3rd down and 6. I was wandering through some of the old record books, scrapbooks, and what have you that rest in the shelves in my office the other day, and I found one that shows Michigan being in the top 10 in the AP poll 30 times since 1936. That's a lot. That ball was thrown, again, a timing pattern before the receiver had made his turn, and when Jesse Johnson looked back, he could not adjust to the ball, and so Michigan will have to punt it. That's a pretty good series right there for the Ohio State defense.
Yep, their defense is very good. They're ranked 1st or 2nd in several different categories in the Big Ten, and Michigan is right there with them defensively.
Walter Taylor is the return man for Stapleton's punt. Crowd comes up. Tried to kick it away from Taylor, but Walter goes across and gets it. There's nothing to do here when you got that many white shirts looking at you. You just tuck it away and run north and south. None of that sideline stuff, and he got 10 yards out of it.
Here you go again.
Since well into the second quarter because of a rib injury on the left side. He had just scored a touchdown when he got his injury. Michigan quarterbacks had not scored a touchdown since 1987 when Michael Taylor did it twice on the same day. Today, Gerback got hurt scoring the first touchdown for them. And then in the third quarter, Todd Collins ran it in on an option for a second quarterback running touchdown today for Michigan. And Kirk Herbstreit, who's been a plucky fellow today, going to turn in a big play here as he gets to the sidelines. Knocked out of bounds at the Michigan 43-yard line by Chris Hutchinson.
And now to get them fired up, they start this drive 57 yards away from pay dirt. Herb Street on a scramble not only fires up the offense and also the faithful.
Florida now has pulled away to a 17-point lead against Vanderbilt, trying to lock up the eastern slot in the SEC. Title game December 5 on ABC Sports. First down, Ohio State. Up man, fullback, Cochran, 2 yards to the 40. If they give it to the 40, it'll be 3.
Big game up in Syracuse, huh? Coach Pasqualoni looking forward to it.
Maybe Syracuse's biggest game in a long time.
Yep.
For a lot of reasons. Second down and 7, knocked down by Steve Morrison. Pass was intended for the tight end Saunders. Morrison reached up and slapped it down.
Well, he's seen this one before. He said, this is the 4th time you've run this. Left side, number 36. Play action fake, tied in from Morrison's left side. He's seen that one before now. They've hit it twice, and the tight end slipped once, and this time Morrison knocks it down. Ohio State has had the ball 8 possessions, and they've ranged in plays from 5 to 13 plays, but they have never scored a touchdown here this afternoon. So they've controlled the ball, but they haven't converted into touchdowns.
Call it 3rd and 8. That's Cochran, the fullback. Oh, I like him. Down to the 27. He's a tough guy.
Okay, all the receivers are going to go downfield, but here's Cochran here. He's going to slide out of the backfield, and he's just going to get a little delay or check down. Linebackers drop. He just goes around the corner, comes back. This guy, I'd get the ball to Cochran a little bit more. He is just a tough cookie.
5 catches for 67 yards. First down, Bucks. Smith, the single back. He's got it. Gets it down to the 25 and a pickup of 2. 9 minutes to play in a ball game. It's 13-6, Michigan.
This offense of Ohio State, Keith, has done just what we're seeing here today all season. They've had 8 possessions. They've tried 4 field goals. They haven't made a touchdown. Their field goal kicker leads the Big Ten in number of field goals attempted. So John Cooper's crew has had trouble getting the ball into the end zone.
One of the reasons is that Robert Smith had 56 yards in the first half, but they have just shut him down in the second half.
Well, the other
side.
That's true, exactly. And the other problem is the quarterback throwing the ball into the end zone.
Right now, Spabline is out of the lineup, too.
Yeah.
Herb Street getting some heat, gets it off. Incomplete. Ball was too high. Saunders went as high as he could, got it on his hands. But when you're hanging up there, you're subject to getting it whacked away from
Well, another play action. They've run this. This is a nice move right here by Herb Street to get around Zankowitz. Now look, top left, the corner Ware comes back in to knock it loose.
He just dropped it. That thing was dropped.
Oh, yeah, he should have caught it.
Yeah.
Herb Street now 24 of 43 for 242 yards.
That's got to be the most he's ever thrown the ball in a game.
Yep, you're right. It is. 217 yards was his last time.
3rd down and 8. They'll go to the shotgun. Try to buy a second here if they can. Over the middle. Beatty's got it. Beatty's loose. Beatty's at the 13. First down, Buckeye.
Here's Beatty. It's just going to be a crossing route. Now watch as the man over him comes with him. That's man coverage. See how open the middle is? Everybody's running out of there covering some man. Michigan is really good tacklers. They're outstanding tacklers in the secondary.
That's 25 completions now for Herb Street, which is also a career high to go with his 44 attempts. And it's first down at the Michigan 13. Robert Smith. And maybe the 8th.
But this is where you need to convert now. They did a nice job in getting the ball down there. Now, can we get it into the end zone? You know, everybody calls this area inside the 20 the red zone. We used to call it the green zone. I mean, red means stop. Green means let's get it in there.
Then how come they call it the red zone?
Well, I don't know, but we call it the green zone.
Why don't you just call it the 12 or the 14 or wherever it is?
Probably the defensive people call it the red zone because they want to stop, and the offense call it the green zone.
Second down, 6. Smith again. Down to the 3, close to a first down. Good, tough, determined run by Robert Smith.
A good job of blocking up front. That's Klein, number 67, the left tackle. He at least gets a stalemate with Stanley. Stanley does not make the tackle. It's good, tough football.
6:53 to play in the game. Timeout for the chain gang. 13-6, Michigan leads. Ohio State trying to stick it in the end zone. With, let's say, 6.5 minutes to play, would you go for 2 or would you tie it? First and goal. Don't worry about it. We'll let them make the decision.
What does John Cooper go to call? Now, the closer you get to the end zone, the tougher it is to pass. He does not have a great passer. They've scored touchdowns this year, 24 rushing touchdowns, only 5 passing touchdowns.
Does the tie count as a half a win?
Well, it does if you're the big underdog. Counts as more than a loss. That one last week was tough on Michigan, I'll guarantee you.
That felt like a loss coming out of there. That's Cochran, the fullback, and boy, did he get a licking at the line of scrimmage.
3 of them.
Yep. Morrison was very prominent in that. Looked to me like number 46, Walker, was also involved.
Walker, Morrison, and Johnson. There's a hole there, but that's where that linebacker, Walker, is supposed to be. And he was there.
And they lost a half a yard.
Yep. If you do that, you got to send Cothran through there to block Walker and give it to the second guy, not to the first one.
Option. Herb Street.
First option of the game.
Yep. Aga Khan, number 90, walking around. He was one of those that hemmed it in. I'll tell you what, if he pitches that thing back to Robert Smith, he walks it.
You're exactly right. I mean, his read said, turn it up, take it yourself. But when you got a bad ankle and you've got a Robert Smith with that speed, pitch it anyway and let him outrun the containment.
Well, this is definitely 4-down country here. You don't be fiddling around with no kicking business here. Third and goal on the 3. Well, he kept it again. And Marcus Walker ate him up.
Well, this time it was tougher to pitch it because of the short side of the field. They're on the right hash mark, and now they run it. 2 guys are outside. That's what he sees out there with Smith. And you don't have a lot of room to the wide side to run. I don't like that call. First one was all right. I didn't like that one into the short side.
The straightest distance.
The quickest between 2 points. Well, they tried that the first down.
Yeah, but they spent the timeout. They're looking at 4th down and 5 for the touchdown. A big sigh by John Cooper. Stories, the air's been filled with them. The newspaper's stuffed with them about if he loses this game, he's gone, regardless of the bowl game. Some are writing now that if he loses, I mean, he's gone if he wins and wins both the games.
Well, he's been here 4 years. This is his 5th year. He's played Michigan 4 times and has lost all 4.
You heard what the president told us.
This is his chance, his best chance to beat Michigan right here.
Just remember, Earl Bruce is the winningest coach in the Big Ten, and they fired him. Cothran is the remaining back. Herbstreit's going to throw it. Does. Touchdown. Beatty. They're going to kick it at 4 minutes and 24 seconds to play in the game.
And listen to the crowd. Listen to the coaches. They're gamblers as long as they're not playing with their own chips. There's plenty of time. This is the right move.
Oh, that snap almost got loose, but the kick is good. And the score is tied.
Going to throw a little slant to the right side of the field. Tight end 85 releases inside. Good coverage. They work on Johnson, the nickelback.
Greg Beatty. He had a man on him, but he just turned him in, got him on his back, and wrapped it up.
That was good coverage.
Ohio State.
Here was the formation. Two wide receivers here. He goes over here on a little slant. And good coverage. But these are the types of things you need to throw down here. Quicker passes. Little slants, quick outs. A little fade down the side. That's only the 5th touchdown pass of the year for Kirk Herbstreit.
Ohio State has held the ball, Bob, for 26 of the last 29 plays. Michigan had it for that one quick series, 3 and out.
Yep.
The last tie in this series was 1973, 10-10. But it down it does come out to the 20. So Michigan will have it there, and now the Ohio State defense all jacked up.
When you have a tied game, and this is just like overtime, but it's very similar, and you look for the field goal kickers. Who is the best field goal kicker? Elezovic for Michigan State has missed an extra point, and Williams for Ohio State has made 2 of 4.
Well,
great drive there, 13 plays.
Reach back farther into history, you'll find back in 1910, Michigan had 3 ties. They have 2 now.
They have 2 now?
That's a while back.
That's a few years ago.
First down for the Wolverines. Todd Collins stays at quarterback. Give it to Jesse Johnson. He's slapped down at the line of scrimmage. Pretty exciting ballgame. Second down and 10 for Michigan. Collins, play action, pressure coming, gets it off down the middle. Pass dropped by Alexander, ball behind Derrick. He made a noble try, trying to pull it in. Just couldn't do it. Elvis getting loose.
There's Gerbach. He was injured earlier in the ball game. Hurt some ribs. That ball thrown by Collins was behind Alexander. Alexander has not caught a pass all day. In fact, only one wide receiver for Michigan has caught a pass.
That was Toomer. 3rd and 10. Hit as he threw it, intended for Toomer. Kovar slipped and fell, otherwise he might have intercepted it. And it's 4th down for Michigan. Michigan has the Rose Bowl ticket. The general feeling seems to be that 2 ties will keep them away from any real hopes of a national championship, but who knows? This is college football. It's November.
Well, there are a lot of things that have to go right for them, and if they tie this one, they'd slip even further down the list.
Buckeyes have blocked 5 this year. You don't want to rough the kicker. It's not a very good kick. Walter Taylor's back there. It's bouncing around at midfield. Ohio State's going to get the football, 1st down at their own 45-yard line. 35-yard punt with the roll. 3 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the ball game. A 13-13 tie.
And the wind at your back for Ohio State.
And if a win here for John Cooper, the first time in beating Michigan, would be very interesting to see what happens during the evaluation period. But ever since Earl Bruce got fired, I have never doubted this. But things don't always go according to what you think. But it is their business, isn't it? The people in Ohio. Cochran, Smith, the lineup in the backfield. Herb Street getting some heat. Down he goes, taken down. He slipped. And that little slip gave Matt Dyson all the time he needed to make the tackle. 26 out of 45, 259 yards for Herb Street, and all those numbers are career highs for him.
Now the shoe's on the other foot as you see how far Ohio State has to go. Now they don't have to go that far, just a field goal, but on the last drive, Michigan was a little defensive, and Ohio State had nothing to lose. Let's go down and see if we can get one. Now it's tied up, and now field position comes into play. Michigan is more aggressive, and if Ohio State should fumble or something, Michigan would be in great shape.
2nd down and 16. Herb Street steps away, delivers it, and he's down right there. Saunders made the catch on a knee. Had a right knee on the ground when he made the catch. Otherwise, he had some room.
When he scrambles, guys get open. I mean, when he scrambles, the entire Michigan secondary reacts to him, and his receivers keep going. If he can just get them the ball and then keep their feet, they can make some big plays. It's a big play here.
Michigan has 3 timeouts remaining. Ohio State 1.
The blitz.
Pass. Beatty knocked down at the Michigan 49. They're going to need 4 more yards. Pat Maloney made the sure tackle. Much too far away for Williams.
Yeah, and aggressive right here. Stop him from getting outside the pocket. He wants to roll out to his left, and he sees the man coming, and tight coverage. Good call by Lloyd Carr defensively. Good aggressive defense.
I think the defensive play in college football is so dramatic now. I mean, it's more fun to watch the defense right now than it is the offense. The defensive coaches are a little pressure there on Joel Kessel. Alexander fumbled the ball. Michigan dives. Ohio State goes, and it's Michigan ball. My goodness. Sean Collins covered it for the Wolverines. There he is. Hold the door for him, boys, when you go to get on the bus. He earned it.
This ball is inside the 15-yard line. We have 1 minute and 3 seconds to play. The fortunes of Ohio State, the alumni, John Cooper. This could have been it. This could have been it.
Oh, me, that's suffering, folks. That's suffering.
Look at that. Great shot. Harry Cam, our director, Bob Goodridge, our producer, giving us some great shots.
How about the cameraman sitting out there in the rain?
Yes, sir. The best.
Nah, I tell you, I remember coming here days when it's been frozen. I remember sitting down there on the field one time. Mike Phipps was playing at Purdue and almost froze to death on the field. Here, so cold.
Now, what's your personality if you're Michigan down here?
Well, you give it to Tyrone Wheatley. Do some blocking. And with just under a minute now, the clock running. It's a 13-13 tie.
But if you're Michigan
and Ohio State,
do you take your timeouts?
I would. You're down to 40 seconds.
See, the problem is if you turn the ball over down here, the game is over. They'll kick a field goal.
Well, you don't get the first down here. He's short of it, and the clock is still running a half a minute. So they finally take the timeout, stopping the clock at 29 seconds to play in the game. They have 2 left. All right, Gerbach, they're on the sidelines, but it is Collins that comes out. Elvis got hurt back in the second quarter. Has not played since. Rib injury. Left side, 13-13 tie. 3rd down and 1 on the 18-yard line for Michigan. Their own 18. Collins gives it to Wheatley. He gets the first down. That stops the clock to move the chains. They use 4 seconds.
Everybody's calling timeout. Ohio State wants one. I don't know if Michigan wanted one or not.
Looks like he's going to charge that one to Ohio State, and if so, that's their last one, according to our records.
And the reason why Gary Moeller didn't take a timeout sooner is because he doesn't. Because first of all, you're backed up in your own position, and if you turn the ball over, field position says the other team kicks a field goal. But it's conservative by nature, and number 2, you got your backup quarterback in there, and you've not thrown the ball well all day, and it's just we'd rather have a tie than a loss.
Now, Ohio State has blocked 5 punts this season, right? They are now in a position where they can sell out and go if Michigan decides to kick it away.
Well, they got a first down.
Well, they got a first down, and they don't have any timeouts, so they can't. They got no shot at it.
Michigan's the one.
They have to hope for the turnover, and I don't really see any indication at this particular point that they're going to start throwing the ball. Maybe they'll let it go one time with Alexander on the fly. But if Derek Alexander comes out of the stack and starts running down the field, you know he's going to get a crowd, isn't he?
The best thing to do is hit a receiver on a square end, Alexander on a square end deep over the middle.
They're going to throw it here because they've got all their fast people out there. No, they're not going to throw it. They give it to Tyrone Wheatley. And he runs it across the 30 to the 31. But they had Toomer in there. He had Alexander in. And they had Walter Smith in.
Well, I know Tyrone Wheatley is a fast back and has made some big plays this year. But you've got to throw the ball downfield to your feet. The problem with Moeller is thinking, I haven't had a wide receiver catch but one ball all day. I've got my backup quarterback in there, and it's raining and it's slippery. And I don't want to turn the ball over on an interception or a sack and a fumble. Those are the thoughts.
So it's 17 seconds now. As far as Ohio State's concerned, they really don't have any strategy right now, do they? Except play defense.
You can't be too aggressive. In fact, they rushed a 3-man line and just dropped 8 that time. Because you want to protect what you got first. I mean, if they came up and blitz and Michigan hit a big play on them, it's a tough situation.
Now, Jack Arute will try to get a brief word with Coach Cooper after the game's over. Some comment, obviously, on his feelings, and at least coming off even with Michigan. This is the closest he's come to beating them in 4 tries at Ohio State. And we'll have it for you at halftime of the second games that are following us around the country. So now 17 seconds. Michigan with a timeout remaining. The Buckeyes don't have any. And a 13-13 tie. Alexander is down at the bottom of the picture. They run it with Wheatley. He gets out of bounds, runs out at about the 44-yard line on the Michigan side of the field. You now have 9 seconds remaining at best. That's 2 plays. The wind is fairly quiet.
Michigan feels more comfortable handing the ball to Wheatley, who has a big play potential, than they do giving it to the backup quarterback Collins to throw downfield.
Wheatley's out of there right now. He has an even 100 yards today, Tyrone Wheatley. All right, here you go. You got Fitz at the bottom of the picture. Here's your pass. Lets it go. There's 3 of them down there. And they don't get it. And time has run out. The game is over. There is no time remaining on the clock. So the Michigan Wolverines and the Ohio State Buckeyes fight.
I think there's another second. It ran off after the play.
I'm going to tell you that right now.
John Cooper was out on the field whooping and hollering that there was a second remaining, and it looks like he may have won his argument.
I don't think he was wanting more time. I think he was saying that the game should have been over. And the official says we got 1 more second. Yeah, and it's correct. The ball was on the ground, and I looked at the scoreboard, and it just kept running.
Now it's Ohio State. John out there saying to his men, protect the territory. They're going to probably do the same thing. Send 3 people into 1 zone. Try to bat it around and try to make the catch and get loose. If they don't score on this play, it's definitely done unless there's a defensive penalty. This one is for Alexander. And it's intercepted. Walter Taylor. Lateral. Still coming. Caught by Walter Smith on the sidelines, out of bounds, and now the game is definitely over. And it ends in a 13-13 tie. First time since 1910, Michigan has had 3 ties in a season.
Well, it isn't what John Cooper had hoped for. But it's a lot better than a loss. This is the next to last play. And the alley-oop with the scoreboard clock. The ball hits the ground right now, and there's 2 seconds left on the clock, and it just keeps running. And here's the final play. Throwing it away from the trips. Trying to get Alexander with it.
And so they finally run down Walter Taylor to end the game 13-13. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Corwin Brown for Michigan and Kirk Herbstreit for Ohio State. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund, rewarding outstanding students for academic achievements to help those in financial need. So Ohio State finishes 8-2-1, Michigan 8-0-2.